say, the traders, the sales, some people that you've seen in movies or you've heard about, but the reality of the trading floor is very different actually. So corporate and institutional banking, if you pay attention to the words, the first two words are clients, okay? Corporates and institutional. So what we do is we focus really on client services. The idea is really to serve our clients. How can we serve our clients? So our clients, being institutional or corporate, they have some needs for financial products. They can need financial products for investments because they have some money and they want to invest it, they want to make more money out of it. Or they can have some needs for product to hedge their position. They are sitting on position on capital markets, equity markets, for example, and they want to protect this position. Or you are an airline company, you are selling tickets in 3 months, in 6 months, and you want to lock in the margin, but you don't know what's the real price of all you're going to pay in 6 months when you will have to deliver the service, okay? So you are in need for products that will help you to guarantee your future returns. That's the kind of clients that we have. So the clients are in the middle, and then there is the whole trading floor, where the sales, like Jason Bainford sale, used to sit, but it's completely different. The idea is for our sales to get in touch with the clients, understand their needs, and try to propose some solutions. The solutions sometimes are pretty simple, just accessing a product or market. Sometimes it can be way trickier than that, okay? Sometimes you have to go into mathematical models, understand exactly what's the portfolio of the client, go onto the asset management side, understand what are the real risks that the clients are facing, and then go on to probabilistic approach to try to find a price for the product that you're going to sell, okay? When we are building a product, the bank does not take the opposite seat of the client. Some people do, not the banks. On CIBs, that's not the case. We are hedging our risks. So we have to find a price for the product that is going to be sold to our clients. To do that, we have a lot of different people sitting in the middle of the trading floor. You have the salesperson, of course, in touch with the clients. You have the structuring guys, the pricing people, so the guys who are usually mathematical engineer, computer science engineer, who works with mathematical models to understand how they can price with a probabilistic approach these kind of products. You have the traders, the ones who are actually placing the orders on the market. Usually same idea. You have some people from business school, but it's mostly engineers or technicians, because you have to have a very logical brain to understand how the market is moving, and behind the market it's mostly mathematics. You have the quants, quantitative research on this side. The quants, of course, they are very mathematical oriented, a lot of probability, a lot of engineers, a lot of IT and computer science engineers as well, because you have to understand how to program, how to compute pricing, how to make programming more efficient. So there is a lot of different kind of technical profile out there. And the strategy, marketing, middle and back office who are trying to make the whole thing work together, okay? So don't think about us like the mad guys you can see in the movies. We have fun sometimes, but not that way. And when we work, we don't try to make money out of people. We try to hedge ourselves, find a fair price. The price for our clients is supposed to be the price at which we are supposed to hedge ourselves, so not to have risk. And we don't take the reverse position of the one that we have been selling to the clients, okay? Fair enough. So why are we looking for engineers? Because maybe it's clear for you. Maybe with this more information that I gave you, you understand better. For me, it wasn't clear at all. Okay, I was a telecom engineer. I loved mathematics when I was a kid. That was a bit weird, but I liked it. And then I went into telecommunication because I thought it's going to be really oriented to mathematics and algorithms, and I liked it. And then I entered into my engineering school, and I was in between actually, because I liked computers, but I didn't want it to work directly within the computer, like the silicium card, etc. was not for me, okay? So I said, what can I do? And then I realized, through friends actually, that finance was a very interesting area for engineers, because you can really apply your skill set, you can apply your logical brain, you can apply even your IT, your love for IT, if you do, to more realistic subject, or to more to finance, basically, to finance, to market, to business, actually. It was pretty interesting. So I studied at first as a real engineer, purely on the trading and structuring side. And then I moved little by little more onto different things, like soft skills, strategy, management, etc. And I'm now managing the team that we are building here in Portugal for capital markets. So what kind of things do we need? I just listed a couple of jobs and a couple of IT systems, etc., just to show you that it's very diverse and it can be pretty simple to very, very technical, okay? So trading, of course, when you're trading or sales support, when you are following the market, you have to understand things, but not that deep, but correlation, volatility, how assets are related, why a move on the euro-dollar will have an impact on different other products. And you can also link that to knowledge in finance, which can be pretty interesting as well. Not only for your personal investment, but structuring and engineering. So you have to come up with idea, innovation, apply mathematical model to reality that you see and to reality that our clients are facing. So you can even link it to subjects like regulations. Yeah, they were mentioning as well on the Paribas Security and Services side, the regulation in between countries. For us, it's the same. We have clients who need to transfer some funds or investment from a country to another. Quantitative research. So mostly people who love mathematics, who love Unix, and who are very much into the system. It's really interesting. And we have some subjects related to quantitative research I put behind big data and client intelligence, which are pretty interesting as well. Big data, I'm sure you've heard about it because it's like very trendy right now, but it's a bit the same as what we can notice on the trading floor. It's a link in between IT and mathematics. Big data, you have access to billions of data. You can access them with thanks to new storage capacity. You can access them with new way of programming and on splitting the calculations with grid, with GPU programming, for example. Well, but with the data, what are you going to do? Okay, we have the self-learning machine that you've all seen with Google Translate, etc. But then you also need some mathematical models to be able to reinterpret the data and take some value added outside of the data. But that's another subject. Optimization, model of optimization. Well, it's pretty clear. If you are trying to get the price of something that is within a probabilistic environment, you need to be able to optimize the model. But it's also a matter of optimization in terms of calculation. If you remember, maybe some people were in some movies, like Wall Street in particular. They were discussing about one kind of trading which is called high frequency trading. So we don't do these kind of things within BNP, but it's the same kind of approach. Is if you want to make many calculations at the same time, you will have to try to optimize the way you are going to compute something. So if there are some telecom engineers here or IT engineers, I'm sure you've already seen a different way of sorting a table. Okay, you can sort the table going from the first to the last element, or you can think about dichotomy and splitting the table into half and half and half. You reduce the time that your computer you're going to take to do the calculation. Well, when it's just sorting one table, it's okay. But when sorting billions of tables, to go into probabilistic models, to go into reviewing a client position and how this position is moving second after second, you do need to have this kind of powerful calculation. Another one that you may have heard about are the GPU calculation. You know, like people who think that it's not trendy anymore to calculate on CPUs with a normal computer. So you use the grid, you link all the computers together, and then you parallelize the calculations. You use the graphic card instead of using the CPU, the usual card, which makes your calculation even more faster. Well, modeling, how to price the product, so many different things out there. So just be reassured, not everyone has the 20 different screens that you see there, only a couple of people. But that's true that usually we have on the trading floor these images that you've seen with people with 4, 6, 8 screens because you follow the market, you do the calculation at the same time. So it's a pretty fast-paced environment, okay? That's also the kind of profile that we are looking for. In terms of what we do, well, I already mentioned, so it can be pretty simple, but I think in pretty much all the jobs that we have on the trading floor, we still need some technicity or some, we need logical brain for sure. Mathematics is definitely a plus. IT and computer science is definitely a plus as well. But you can, I mean, even if you're a sales, because sometimes the clients are pretty complex, okay? In terms of what we do, it can be simple IT or programming, like algorithmics, more related to the logical brain. It can be VBA, I don't know if you're familiar with VBA, something that we do use a lot because we use a lot of Excel as well. It's pretty simple. If you've never heard about it, you can learn it in 3 weeks with Google. Everything is well documented. It's a very easy language to learn. Java, C, C++, etc. The new trendy softs that I strongly advise you to work on if you want to be the next bubble. It's Tableau and Alteryx for big data, which are very interesting kind of softs. CUDA, if you want to code with the GPU card, so really different things. CUDA is like very technical, when VB and algorithmics is very simple. The idea is really to show you that we have many different jobs, many different kind of positions, and well, I think it could be interesting for you to discover this position because depending on what you want to do, even if you're not in IT and you're not that much into it, there are always some skills that could be applied to jobs that we have on the trading floor. And well, the final word is just going to be about the dynamic and fulfilling environment. Okay, with the usual message. So as you've seen, I didn't start it with to show you numbers about CIB. I could have said that yes, we are 19,000 people all over the world, 45 countries, servicing 15,000 clients, etc. But I think it was more to share about the experience with you, because I do hope you all have Google, so you can find all the information about CIB directly at home. But here is more to share experience. So I'm not going to read through all the different things that are written there. The only thing that were exciting for me when I started was the fact that, well, as we all mentioned, it's a very international environment. Okay, so we are present in 45 countries, fair enough, but mainly we are in the main hubs. We are in New York, we are in Hong Kong, we are in Tokyo, we are here in Europe, in Paris and London. Lisbon is started a year ago for the support platform I'm building, and you have access to this environment. It's not just work, okay? In my team, for example, the people we recruit, if they are fresh out of school, we try to integrate them into something that we call a traineeship program. The approach of traineeship is really training, okay? It's not an internship. It's not interning in between, it's really to train you. So we send you as a normal intern in Paris, in London, in one of our platforms, well, in New York as well. You spend 6 months there, working directly with the team, as an intern, as a trainee. But at the end, if you succeed, I mean, if you do a good job and they do like you, and if they did a good job as well and you do like them, and you're convinced by the job, then we offer you a permanent position here in Lisbon, which is pretty good for both, actually, both sides. Because on the business side, they've been working with you, they know you, and they've been able to train you during 6 months. And on your side as well, because you receive a training, an international one, which could be fun. And when you start working in Lisbon as a permanent, you already know your colleagues, you already know the people out there in Paris, London, New York, or the other platform. So it was a pretty interesting approach, and it's still open, so you can always apply. We're trying to continue growing. And well, just to give you some figures, we started like a year ago with only a couple of people, or 4 people, and now we are almost 40. We are 40, so from 4 to 40 is increasing quite a lot. What's the increase rate, by the way? 900, okay, 900%. Yeah, so it's really increasing, and I think it's pretty important when you enter a company, especially when you are young and fresh out of school, to think about this international experience. Because I'm not saying that because I'm in Lisbon and I'm loving it today, but really it's really nice to also be in touch with people coming from 10 different nationalities. Even just working, even if you stay here in Lisbon, but you have the chance to exchange with people from 10 different nationalities, but whatever, you will have 10 different point of views on the same thing, and believe me, it's something incredible. So I strongly advise you to take that into account when choosing a company. The other point, why I loved it, is I told you I was a bit weird and I was fond of mathematics. And finance is an area, let's face it, maybe because of the money or maybe because it was trendy, but it's an area that attracted a lot of very, very smart people. So, for example, last year and the year before, I had a chance to, sitting on the trading floor, work with the Franco-Brazilian guy who had the medal fields, the mathematical Nobel Prize, actually. So he was working on a project with us. We had some people working for the ECB, etc. So we have really people that are influenced and that are very bright. So it's always good when you can also evaluate your colleagues or your boss or people working with you and learn from those guys who are so talented. But it's also something to take into account. Me, I really take it as a chance, to be honest, to be sitting sometime next to those guys to exchange on subjects like finance, but it can also be politics, it can also be mathematics, IT, etc. So it's a pretty good strength that we do have. And wow, it's not the slide, but still. Yeah. It was another key selling point. And yeah, well, sorry, final word and then I stop. So the awards, okay, it's good, yeah, we do receive awards, we do our good in what we are doing. You will find this on Google, okay, the CIB of BNP Paribas is not something, it's something that is client-focused, we're recognized by our clients, and it's, and you will find all the rest of the information on internet. But yeah, it's a pretty young environment, international, challenging, I told you, fast-paced. You have to be able to handle multiple information at the same time. You have to like growing because we'll push you, for sure. I mentioned the fact that you have the chance to work with some amazing people. The rewards, I think it's more important to have a look at it as we are innovative. We are trying to reinvent ourselves. We have, we are BNP Paribas, the bank of a changing world, for a changing world, sorry. It's what's written everywhere. It's really in our DNA to try to adapt and try to think about tomorrow. So that's why we're also pushing young graduates like you to go into international experience like the traineeship program. And the last point, just to reassure you, or to make you sleep, was just the last one, the quality, the time, time balance. Because as you may know, some work on finance, sometimes some people are saying it's just crazy and I'm working crazy hours. That's not true. We do work, of course, because it's important to work quite a lot as well, but we are following mostly market hours, and the market is usually better than some other jobs that you may have heard about in finance. So we don't work 24-hour, 24/7. We usually follow the market, especially on the equity market, which is pretty nice. 9 to 5, it's not too bad. That's it. Thank you, and I let Christina conclude.
So thank you, Christopher. So we are available for your questions in Portuguese or in English, or you can choose. No questions at all?
Funciona o nosso processo de recrutamento?
O nosso processo de recrutamento tem um site que você tem aqui o stand e podem mais facilmente tirar ali informações. Eles dão-vos o site e os endereços, portanto podem se candidatar diretamente para o site ou através do endereço eletrónico mandando o vosso CV. Têm diferentes processos de recrutamento consoante a posição a que estão a candidatar. Portanto, para equipas de desenvolvimento do Security Service, tem um processo de recrutamento que normalmente passa sobretudo por entrevistas com recursos humanos e com as áreas de projeto, de gestão em que vão ser inseridos. Para Capital Markets tem um teste inicial de lógica, programação, modelos matemáticos, portanto tem vários testes em que não são eliminatórios. O de lógica é eliminatório, os outros não são. Portanto, são testes para ver qual é que é o vosso perfil e onde é que vocês se sentem mais à vontade e para serem direcionados depois para as entrevistas aí com recursos humanos e com os managers que têm aqui, com o manager local, que é o Christopher Cloud, e com os managers de cada equipa, consoante a área depois em que fiquem integrados, estruturação, portanto, as várias equipas em que estejam a candidatar.
Referiu qual é a complexidade, se é preciso algum nível, alguma formação inicial para esses testes?
Quando vocês fazem, quando vos marcam os testes, normalmente são-vos dados uma série de dicas e convém sempre, isso é um conselho que eu vos dou para qualquer empresa a que se candidatem, peçam sempre essas dicas, que é melhor terem mais informação e saberem mais ou menos o que é que se vão preparar. Da parte de engenharia, eu penso que todos os modelos que vos aparecerão ou os testes de lógica são coisas que vocês farão sem qualquer dificuldade. Para as entrevistas é possível que vos apareçam algumas questões ou que se vos questionem alguma coisa sobre a parte financeira. Aí eles dão-vos normalmente a dica de lerem 3, 4 capítulos de uma das Bíblias, por exemplo, sobre derivados, em que vocês, com as bases matemáticas, rapidamente conseguem perceber qual é a lógica da coisa e têm, enfim, uma base de discussão mais alargada para depois para se prepararem para as entrevistas.
Nós temos a nossa banca ali fora. Nós temos a nossa banca já aqui à saída do stand. Nós temos o nosso programa que é o IT Academy. Está connosco hoje também um aluno que começou este programa connosco e poderá ser uma pessoa interessante com quem vocês possam falar e que vos possa falar da experiência do processo de recrutamento e também do processo do IT Academy. Ok?
Nós vamos ficar os 4 lá fora no stand ainda durante algum tempo, se quiserem, enfim, como sabemos em Portugal é sempre mais fácil aquela conversa de um para um do que estas coisas da audiência. Há coisas culturais que demoram tempo a passar. Muito obrigada por terem vindo, se não têm mais questões. Muito obrigada.